Hi there, Lowell Edwards of the province, a video edition of the fifth quarter from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Investors Group Field, a beautiful facility here in the prairies. First impressions are kind of remind you of CenturyLink Field in Seattle, and the home of tomorrow night's CFL game between the Bombers and the BC Lions. The Bombers finishing up their walkthrough here under very dark skies here this morning. Waiting for the Lions to appear. They're not going to be here for several hours. A number of issues with their charter flight, whether they're going to meet the media at the airport and the stadium, back and forth. It's quite a day from a media point of view. Not much to report really from a Winnipeg point of view. Tim Burke, their head coach, saying that Max Hall will get another start here. That's been the story all year long for the Bombers. Who would be the starter? Hall, Jason Boltus, and Justin Goltz, in that order will be the order of play if it goes that distance for Winnipeg. Akeem Foster will play. Looking forward to it, he says, as you might expect. Akeem, of course, basically not really sure why it is, he said today, why he was sort of phased out of the Lions lineup prior to his trade for Buck Pierce. Lions changes in the roster are as was forecast. Marco Iannuzzi is not on the 46-man roster, and Paris Jackson will take his spot in the starting lineup. The word is that both Emmanuel Arsenault and Dante Marsh are on the trip, and even though they had to battle some injuries on the last day of practice this week, but both are expected to play. Andrew Marshall, a special teams player who played his college ball at SFU, he will draw into the lineup, and make his CFL debut on Friday night. Expecting a lot of wind in Winnipeg, so I expect that the walkthrough here by the Lions will be lengthy. Paul McCallum will probably find this place a little more interesting than some that he's kicked in the past, talking about a 50-kilometer wind, at least during the day in Winnipeg. We'll see how that plays out at game time, 7 o'clock local time on Friday night. If you want to talk some more Lions football, theprovince.com is the place to do it. We'll be around at 12 noon Vancouver time to take your questions and talk anything you'd like to about the Lions. A lot more in the paper on Friday as well. We've got a story on Buck Pearson. We'll review the situation here in Winnipeg and how it's kind of deteriorated to the point where they are now a 2-10 team. Trap game for the BC Lions. We'll find out. They've not done well against quarterbacks that with not a long resume list. This kind of could be one of those games where you wonder whether or not the Lions are in a little bit of hot water with Thomas DeMarco at quarterback. Anyways, that's the story from Winnipeg. Lowell Edwards for the fifth quarter.